Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for this video. This is going to be a little haul. I actually ordered this stuff back on Cyber Monday when e.l.f., the website eyeslipsface.com, was having a half off sale. I believe everything I got was half off. So I got some really good deals and it was a good opportunity to try some different things. I literally got the order in yesterday, so there have been a couple of these things that I've tried this morning when I was getting ready, but not everything. So this is just going to be a haul, not really a bunch of reviews. But also, I honestly feel so weird doing this video because I have been it almost feels like I've been out in the wild in a sense. I was shooting a story today for the news, and this woman, she is amazing. She works at a wildlife rehabilitation facility. She's actually the owner. She runs the show, and I saw cougars and bobcats and you know, bald eagles and vultures and owls and squirrels and just everything. Like, she rehabs these animals so they can get back into the wild. So it was just so cool to get to see a lot of animals you don't normally see right up close. So I'll have to post a link to that story on Facebook once it airs tomorrow. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible because I have a lot of things that I got. I got the body shimmer, which was kind of a new studio product, and a lot of these things are studio products that I saw and was just kind of intrigued by. This shade is called Mystic Moonlight. It looks like a mini deodorant, only here's the shimmer, so it's just kind of a light pearly shimmery color, but I just thought, you know, if this works, if this isn't too glittery, it could be a nice highlight on some different points in the face, and you get a whole lot of product too. I got a cream eyeshadow. This shade is Dawn, and once again, much like their lip glosses or their lip balms and their blushes, there's a ton of packaging around. So I actually used this as a base for the look that I have on today, but it's just kind of a definitely grayish taupe neutral. This is the Flawless Finish Foundation. It says SPF 15, oil-free. The shade I got was Buff. I mean, it looked perfect on the website, but I just, you know, pumped out a little bit on my hand the other day. I'm like, oh, I think it's going to be too dark. It may even be too dark for me, like, in the summer months, but it might be something I mix or do, you know, make it work somehow. But I have to say, this has got to be some of the most high-end type packaging I've seen on an e.l.f. product. First off, you got the cap there, a little detail. This is actual glass here. It's like kind of a frosted matte glass. And then it has a pump. So I'm very pleased with the way the packaging is, and it also doesn't look like, from here you can tell there's not a lot of excess packaging, but it's just really well done, packaged better than a lot of typical drugstore foundations. I got one of the $1 eye primers because the only primer I've tried from e.l.f. is the mineral eye primer, which I thought was pretty good, but I wanted to see if the $1 one could be as good or better. So it just looks like this. It looks like a typical eye primer type product. You know, it just kind of blends into nothingness. I also love the e.l.f. Studio blushes. I mean, I have been super impressed with the pigmentation of them. I have a matte bright pink one. I think it's called Pink Passion that I love. It just takes a little tap of the brush to get some color. But this one that I picked up is actually the highlight. It's called Gotta Glow. It's kind of like one of those candlelight type highlights, if that makes sense. That's sometimes how these are described, these slightly golden tone highlights. And I just thought, you know, that might be kind of pretty. I used a little bit today. Again, I feel like I've been outdoors all morning long, so I'm not sure how all this is holding up, but also was very intrigued by the wrinkle refiner. This product, I didn't use it today because I didn't want to use it on a day that I was on air for fear of how I didn't know how my skin was going to react to it or how it was going to actually do, but just using it on my hand, it's kind of like a creamy product, and you blend it in and it's the most unusual texture, and it totally like mattifies the area and smooths it. It's really interesting. So I am totally intrigued to see how that works under foundation and things like that, just for, you know, little fine lines here and there that come up. I got the Exact Lash Mascara. This is a studio product, and guys, get a load of the size of this brush. I'm like, really? It's so tiny. Look at that. I didn't use this today because I wasn't sure if it would smudge, and again, I didn't want to test it on an on-air day, but this is going to make my Maybelline Lash Discovery look like a giant. Half the size of my Lash Discovery wand. Now I have a couple of palettes to share. I have been getting questions about the 24 karat line of e.l.f. stuff, kind of supposed to be, I guess, a more luxurious line of e.l.f. cosmetics, and so I got this little palette here, and it's got this kind of puffy feel here, for lack of a better word, on top of the palette, but it came and it had little smudges on it actually, and it has kind of a line right down this, so it sort of looks kind of cheap. And then on the inside, it's got this, instead of being plastic, it's like this puffy palette base here that just, I don't really like it because it tends to grab any product and get smudges around on it. It's kind of a rainbow type color palette here. I mean, you are getting some neutrals, but you're also getting like blue, yellow, green, purple, red, that sort of thing. So again, I haven't used this yet, so beyond just some preliminary swatching, I can't tell you much about it other than the fact that they don't seem initially too different from some other e.l.f. palettes I've tried, like the little, I think it's 32 color palette or something like that. Another thing I thought was really cool are these little individual palettes here. Like they're little strips of 10 eyeshadows, 2 lip colors, and a blush. So you can get one of these, or you can actually get like 3 of these, which is what I did, and you can put it in this container here. So as you can see, I've got another set of colors here, but they kind of pop in, they snap in actually, and then there's a little space back there where you can push it through. So it holds them, and then the third section of this is actually a compact that you can take out, and then this can be your portable one. So this is what I used today. I actually used these eye colors. I got a kind of a combination of these 2 lips, and I actually lightly used that blush today too. So anyway, I'm kind of happy with the quality of this actually, but this pops out of this little container, and then you can put any one in here to be sort of your travel set. It has a nice little mirror there as well, and then it fits in, and you've got it all kind of to go like this. So this is an interesting concept. If you're wondering quality-wise what these shadows are like, they kind of remind me of, you know, like these palettes. These little 32 palettes are like the e.l.f. 100 palette. Kind of hit and miss, you know, not every shadow is going to be amazing. Some are going to be really great, and not every one of them is going to be awesomely pigmented. Some are going to have a little fallout here and there. I do like the configuration of the colors. This most natural neutral looking one is called Day on the Beach. That's that one. This one's called Tuscany Retreat. So this has sort of a few little jewel tones here and there and kind of a darker lip. And then the one in this little palette that I showed you is Night on the Town, I believe. So that's kind of classic smoky eye type colors. I hope you enjoyed seeing, you know, what I ended up with, and I'll definitely be trying some of these things out, giving you some reviews on them in the near future. You may see them in videos, you may see them on my blog, which is beautybroadcast.net. So, and also thank you so much for the great response to the College Girl Beauty video. You guys have given me so many great ideas for this series, so I'm super excited about that. So, thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.